Okay, if you give Dawn your phone number there.
I'm Carol White, born and raised in Flint, Michigan, 1947. 1947, went to Flint St. Mary's, graduated in 1965. Moved out when I got married in '68, and came back into town in 2001. And I'm made in Flint, and I'm proud of it.
Terry, help her out. Thanks, Barbara. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Ruby Jean Butler, and I'm with the Fairfield Council, and there's several here, and I want you to know on a plus side, we do our meetings and we work at it. We just had a big meeting Saturday that went on, and we worked on it. And we're trying to do something with the houses. You've talked about it, and about rentals, and we've got a bunch sitting right back here that's coming out, that is out here, and we care about the city of Flint. And I care about the city of Flint. I've been in the real estate business. I'm not working at it now. 65 years I've had a license, and was on Detroit Street. I now live in the city of Flint, which I love. And I know it, the first time when we went to the symphony was Central High School. The Institute of Music, we got on the telephone and called the people that we know. These things don't just happen. Sometimes you go to something, you want a fund, some money. Well, now they're looking for a miracle. I'm going to tell you, the best miracle is waking up in the morning. And the rest of the day, you got to have the guts to get with it and go and do stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to talk. You can't say, you are to blame, you are to blame. You got to say, what can I do to help this community work better?
I think you just said it all, Ms. Butler. We got to do it together.
And I'm an old lady. I'm going to be 90 this year, so look out.
Tremendous. Mr. Calderon.
Thank you. My name is Chris Delmarone. I live in Flint, Michigan. I left my rose-colored glasses at home, so bear with me. You had mentioned that our current mayor now, that he raised our water rates during the election, which is true. What you failed to mention is that this current mayor and other mayors have taken money out of that water and sewer fund to run our city. Now, the residents of Flint are having a hard time paying their water bills. The average water bill is higher than what most people pay in property taxes. I don't know if you get a handle on that. We're paying more in something that we actually need every day, water, than our property taxes. Now, I'm totally against the Carey-Dondy water pipeline because we haven't been given the true numbers, what it'll cost. And the residents of the city of Flint should not bear that burden. $170 million will be the city of Flint's cost. The city doesn't have the money. The residents don't have the money. But more importantly, the residents in the city of Flint have to tap in to the Flint water system. They don't have a choice. They cannot go out in their backyard and drill a well. Now, when you go to the out-county area, Grand Blanc Township, all the cities that will be part of this Carigandi water pipeline, they are not required to tap into that. They can keep their wells. Now, if they're required to tap into the new pipeline, you will see the county, there will be an uproar in the county because they don't want to give up their wells, okay? And there's no way that the residents of Flint should be required to basically subsidize this pipeline. Again, I don't believe we begin the true numbers. We don't know what our future demand will be. We don't know what future conservation will be. We'll be committed to buying so many gallons of water, even if we don't use the water. And my concern is that you and the administration are not taking this stuff into consideration. It's about the time value of money. Yeah, maybe in 25, 30 years, our rates will be lower, but what is the cost up front to build a pipeline? And maybe you can talk on that. And
Chris, one of the things I'd say is, where's Howard? Is Howard here? Howard Croft?
Back.
Okay, there he is right there. Howard, you don't have to come up, but I want to refer you to Howard. Howard's been doing the research for us on the water issue since I walked in the door. He's doing due diligence, and I think it'd be good for you to have a offline conversation with him, okay?
well, I don't have a problem with that, but I think part of the problem in our community is that things are not done above board, and I think it should be a public conversation.
Amen.
There are things going on in this community that if the community were made aware of it, they would be in total shock.
Again, I've pledged openness and transparency, and we are doing our homework right now on the water issue, and I will share that at either one of the city council meetings or at one of these forums, or at more than one of these forums, as we begin to make decisions. Thus far, we're just gathering information, though.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay?
I'll get back in line.
Thanks, Chris.
Mr. Brown.
Yes, Jack.
Thanks for being here. Like a previous speaker, I thought PA 72 worked fine and PA 4 is an overreach. But having said that, I'm pleased that you're the appointee. So,
thanks, Jack.
Though, like a previous speaker, you might be overpaid a little. Another point that I want to make very quickly, before you go into charter revision, the League of Women Voters did a very good study a couple of years ago, and I hope you will examine that before you go wholesale on any other aspect of it. And I disagree 100%. I really want to speak about the Carigandi and the Flint River. I disagree 100% with the previous speaker. The Carigandi, first place, about 3/4 of the county residents already tap in and will tap into any new water line. Secondly, the current water line is at the end of near the end of its life. It will be replaced. If Detroit replaces it, we will continue to pay a little bit for repairs on East Jefferson Street as well as for our own water.
That's right.
And in addition to that, the cost will be spread among multiple communities in several counties and will be much lower than having to pay Detroit to do it. So I strongly encourage you to look at the environmental issues also. The Flint River might work some years for water supply. It will not work every year. Currently, we take on average over 20 million gallons of water out of Lake Huron. We use it and dump it back into the Flint River. In a hot day in the summer, we take as much as 40 million gallons out of Lake Huron every day. And if we start taking 40 million gallons out of the Flint River and not replenishing it downstream, it will destroy the river in short time. Given 2 or 3 hot years in a row, it will certainly happen. So I would hope you would look very carefully at the environmental aspects of the use of the Flint River. It will not work over time. And I would hope you would consider very strongly the Carigandi water line, which I believe to be the most effective and cost-effective means of replacing a pipeline that already It's costing us extra amount of money because it's old, it has leakage, and we're paying for the water that leaks out of the ground between here and Lapeer and so on. And finally, I want to make another comment that privatization of a vital supply like the water supply is the wrong way to go. When profit becomes the motive, it's very easy to slip a little bit from quality for profit. And we do not need that in Flint and Genesee County. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Jeff.
Hey, Mike, Andy Ellard, Fairfield Village President. You wear that Teflon pretty well, I gotta say.
Thank you, sir.
I got a couple questions, concerns, I don't know how to say this. Our neighborhood is very active with a safety watch, and we like to brag about our low crime rate in our little neighborhood. But you had talked about collaborative efforts with other departments. So my question would be, what collaborative efforts is the city working in these neighborhoods? Because I'm seeing representatives of quite a few of the neighborhoods that we associate with, and we're all kind of wondering, like, we're getting organized on the street. Where was our support? So like when we call for help, 911, shots fired? No, not this time. All right, well, we'll make a report. I want somebody to show up. You know, we want response. And I know we're all, you know, in a deficit situation, and I know Albert's not here because he wears his Teflon pretty good too, but you know, this is something that really has got to get addressed. Sure. I mean, there's a lot of other concerns I'm hearing tonight, but I bet if you went to this room, I'll bet you'd have 70% of these people say that the #1 issue in this city
It's crime.
Safety, yeah.
Safety.
Yeah, so we're looking at what are the collaborative efforts, not just with safety, but I could look at the same collaborative efforts on your parks, collaborative efforts on education. I could see a lot of different areas for collaborating, not with departments, but with the neighbors.
Sure. All right, let me say this, that I think if we're going to have a positive impact on public safety, we need the citizens. We've got 125 police officers for 100,000 people. That's not enough. We don't have the money to hire more right now. So we do have to create, whether we call it collaboration, partnerships, but we've got to work with neighborhood groups. We've got to work creatively, but we've got to have citizens involved in this process. Chief Locke is putting together a plan. The other thing I'd say is beyond working with citizens, you know, we have a county-wide criminal justice system here. We have a county jail, we have county prosecutor's office, county sheriff, we have judges that are in the county. All of those impact crime in the city of Flint and public safety in the city of Flint. So I'm reaching out across the street to the county too to try to form a criminal justice policy council that will look at how we get a better handle on public safety and